When you buy a new road or gravel bike, one of the big choices to make is what group set to choose. And today, I believe SRAM has made that choice even easier, with the launch of not one, not two, not even three, but 4 brand new group sets in both Force and Rival Explore 1x13 gravel group sets, as you see here, and also Force and Rival AXS 2x road bike group sets. So loads to talk about in today's video. I'll tell you all the details you need to know and speak to the people behind the new group sets and give you my first impressions riding both the gravel and road bike group sets on the amazing roads and gravel here in Portugal. So I'm David, you're watching Just Ride Bikes, let's dive in. The main takeaway from today's video is really that they are giving you a red group set in terms of performance and ergonomics and shifting and braking performance, but at low price points with a small weight penalty. And it's a case of good, better and best, Rival, Force and Red. And essentially they get all the same key improvements that we saw on Red. So starting with the hoods, vastly improved ergonomics, now best in class in my humble opinion, really nice fit in the hands and massively improved braking performance as well, with really light lever action, allowing one finger braking in all situations, and they are amazing to use. They feel fantastic and give more safety and more confidence when riding downhill, especially off-road on gravel.
One key difference between Rival and Force, aside from weight and price, is that Force has bonus buttons, like on Red, for extra shifting functions, while Rival does not.
Then moving further back on the gravel bike group set, is a 1x13 speed group set with the same spacing at 12 speed and the same flat top chain at 12 speed, with, borrowed from the mountain bike transmission world, a full mount rear derailleur, which mounts clamps onto a frame for a much more secure and much more durable interface. Oversized and chunky looks, which I like. I think they've grown on me really well over the last 12 months. And Explore is based around a 1046 cassette. And you might ask why it's just one cassette option and not a 1044 or 1048. And it's all about simplicity of installation and setup. No B-screw, no high-low adjustment, no fiddling with the indexing, because the rear derailleur knows where it is in relation to the cassette. But you can, if you need bigger gears, go to the Eagle 1052, which is very popular on gravel bikes, as I saw as a tracker back in May. Now, this is a group set I'm really personally excited about, because 4 years ago, Rival AXS launched their sort of rival to 105 Di2, if you like. And I, as you know, built up a custom Giant TCR Advanced Pro with the Rival group set, and I love it. Yes, it's not the lightest group set in the world, but it's not heavy, and I've been so impressed with the performance of that group set. I rode it in a Fred Witten, and the gear range, which is really the big benefit of Rival over other manufacturer group sets, really gives you the ability to ride up any mountain, any hill you want, and does offset the weight. So visually, both Force and Rival look the same as Red. And while they are heavier, using different materials to meet different price points compared to Red and make them more accessible and more affordable, each group set is actually lighter than the previous version of the group set.
Here are the claimed weights for each group set on screen right now. A big part of weight saving comes from the chain set and cassette. The new chain set features one-piece chain rings and a thread mount interface that fixes the chain rings directly to the crank arm to save weight. The Force carbon fibre crank arm is also lighter and stiffer than the old Force, while Rival, as you can see, has a big hole in the side. The Explore cassette, meanwhile, despite moving from 12 to 13 sprockets, are lighter by count of having more alloy sprockets, saving weight over the old group set.
So it's clear that while Force and Rival have had to meet low price points and there's less blingy materials in the construction, they've still been driven to make the group sets lighter and give that customer of Force and Rival a better group set in terms of the trickle down from Red and also improvements where possible too, and I really appreciate that.
All the new group sets are backwards compatible with existing SRAM, Force and Rival 12-speed setups. So you can, for example, just upgrade the hoods and brakes if you wish. As for how much a group set will cost you, I'll put the prices on screen right now. And even before discounts, the new SRAM group sets are priced very well indeed and do undercut Shimano's official pricing. So it will be interesting to watch how complete bike prices shift over the coming months as brands start speccing the brand new group sets on their bikes.
Nicely saved. Nicely saved. We got on camera at least. I mean, relive it later.
So a few days ago, before his launch here in Portugal, I was riding the Tracker on a Canyon Grail with Shimano GRX Di2 2x, which I did not enjoy at all. Not enough gear range, and managing the front mech was a nightmare on that tough course. So being back on one bike, which I prefer anyway for gravel, and SRAM's latest Explore wide range group sets, I'm reminded just how good one bike is when riding off-road. It makes a lot more sense. And I'm riding a road back road, got a really cool handlebar, like a hover handlebar, especially I did many years ago. And the bike feels tremendous so far. Nice geometry, 45mm tyres. It's so got the big hits really well, and it's very quick too. I've been to Portugal many times, but I've never done any gravel, and so far I'm really impressed. Lovely weather, lovely landscape, and fine gravel. It's all double tracks through the countryside, sort of farm access roads really, a bit like Strada Bianca in Tuscany. Right, so day 2 on a road bike, a Trek-down with the brand new SRAM Rival AXS road bike group set 2x, and the hoods are the star feature of the new Rival group set. The same fantastic ergonomics, the same great comfort as Red, just a lovely hood shape, lovely light lever action, well, the same braking upgrade as Red with the new pistons, calipers, just one finger braking, just fantastic. That is the main improvement straight away. But there's one thing I do miss. On the Red group set, they added bonus buttons, which I really enjoy. Their placement on the side of the hoods works extremely well. And as a feature I'm so used to that on this bike, I keep going for the bonus buttons, but not there. So that's a bit of a downside. If you haven't ridden Red or Force, you won't miss it anyway. But other than that, it functions the same as Red. The shifting speed is the same, gear ratios are the same as before, so fantastic. Four new group sets, all benefiting from the technology first debuted on Red less than a year ago. So Shimano has some serious catch up to do because SRAM are on it. Innovation at the top end and then bringing that innovation down to low price points, so we all benefit, which is fantastic news. And group sets that are lighter than the previous versions as well, to make sure these group sets aren't just a cheap copy of that top level group set, but also give great performance for that customer That's cyclists looking for maximum bang for buck.
So Dan, is making Force and Rival simply a case of using cheaper materials and then that's it, job done, or is it more complex than it looks?
Wouldn't say it's necessarily as simple as you explained, but it is something we consider when we are kicking off a project like Red. We're always trying to, we have a vision of what our product plan is over the course of, from Red all the way down through the tiers of Force and Rival, and as well as the cadence of when we want to introduce them.
Okay.
So when we're designing Red, we want to, definitely maximize the efficiency of being able to sometimes share components or translate a technology down to different price points in an economical way to be able to make it affordable to produce and reach the price point so that end consumers can then, materialize it. Honestly, in a blindfolded test, it's really hard to tell them apart.
So JP, it's the last time we rode together was less than a year ago riding Red Explore, and now we're here in Portugal riding Force and Rival Explore. Firstly, how has Red Explore been received both in terms of 1x13 and the full mount transmission rear derailleur?
It's been really well received, especially for the 13 speed,
okay.
right? And a little bit more range with the 46 tooth, and 13 speed is really well received because, competitive riders and riders pushing hard or riders on the pavement have more cogs, more closely spaced cogs for the fast sections of any ride.
Yeah. Have you had much pushback with the 1046 being the only option? I understand why you did the option for the setup, simplicity, but
honestly, I wouldn't describe it as pushback, but there's a lot of conversation, right? And there are many riders that choose Eagle transmission,
okay,
or an Eagle drivetrain, a 1050 or 1052 range. The Red Explorer 1046 13 speed has been extremely well received, and some riders choose it, some riders choose Eagle.
Okay.
All good.
Why have you released these two group sets so soon after Red and not giving Red more sort of breathing space? Because other brands might not launch Force and Rival so quickly, I guess.
Why have we done that? I feel privileged that I'm that I'm part of a team that's able to do that.
Okay.
Right? Why? Because riders want it, right? And we want to provide more riders with the opportunity to ride the very best equipment. This was at least my vision and Dan's vision to provide the same ride experience for Force and Rival riders. And fortunately, we got there, and some of the things weren't really certain whether we would bring the braking technology all the way down, to a third price tier, and thankfully that made the cut. But yes, so these have been in development almost since we kicked off Red, because you've seen that Force and Rival both have new crank arms, right? And so that the Force crank arm looks great. It's a little lighter than the previous, and as every bit as stiff as the other, and then you save some weight with Rival. So crank arm development takes a long time. The brake technology is really just, it's a question of, can we get the braking from Red to the right cost of goods for these? And that was the discovery of our, that was the discovery portion of our development. And yes, we got there through, it's all, it's material differences providing the same ride experience.
And one thing that stood out for me is the 13-speed group cassette. It's lighter than 12-speed, despite being bigger.
Yeah, and that's an easy one to look at, because you can see it that our 12-speed Force cassette had 12 cogs, one aluminum cog. The 13-speed has 3 aluminum cogs.
Yeah.
And then the rival.
But you didn't have to do that though. You didn't have to make that cassette lighter, did you? But you've chosen to make it lighter, to give that customer a lighter
Again,
group set.
I feel privileged that the organization that I'm a part of allows us to do these things, because of course, we live to make riding better for everybody. So,
but it shows how much you value those customers that buy and rival and force, that you're giving them the best performance possible at a price point and improved performance over.
Like you said. Thank you.
So that's been a first look, a first impression at the new Force and Rival gravel and road bike group sets, and my first impression of riding them today. The group sets, as of this video going live, are now available. I'll put a link to the SRAM website down below for more details, and check your local dealer, your local shop for availability as well. And quite a few bike brands like Rose and Canyon and Trek and others will have bikes available on sale today with the new group sets. So definitely worth checking out your favorite bike brand or your favorite bike shop to see how the bikes are looking with the brand new group sets. And given the popularity of Rival and Force over the last few years, especially Rival in my personal experience, I think these new group sets will be very well received. But as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts on these new group sets. And it's really over to Shimano and maybe Campag to respond to what SRAM is doing here. Less than a year after launching Red AXS and Red XPLR, they trickled that technology down to both Force and Rival at the same time. Which, fair play, that's very impressive indeed, and gives people who want all that performance from the top end, but at lower, more affordable prices, that option. Anyway, I've been David. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe by hitting that button down below. And if you want to find out more about the group sets, as I said, I'll put a link to the SRAM website down below. But I have a plane to catch, so I'll see you all again very soon. Thank you so much for watching.